This is Laura Mafka, aka Roganized Rant, and in today's video, I want to talk about many men will never wake up rant. And yes, it's time we had that talk again, man, because a lot of men are just so goddamn oblivious to what's going on around us. We live in a male hating society. No one respects you when you are an everyday man. No one does. Your own family looks to persecute you. Your own people that you think are your friends look to shame and ridicule you, all because you don't have on the latest clothing. All because you're not trying to go out your way to talk to every woman that's in front of you. Just total stupid shaming behavior from other men, especially. Because if you look online right now, men are just pretty much far too gone. Because the fact that you have something called looks maxing that is took off to where you have men hitting their jaws with hammers, or even if they're just pretending to do that, it's still pathetic because it shows how insecure men are now about their looks. You cannot have a society of brave and resilient men if they are caring about their looks 24/7, if they're caring about everyone's opinion, if they're still trying to fit in with people who rejected them from the beginning. You can't have a society of brave and resilient men in that type of climate socially. So when I look at the everyday world, it produces nothing of value towards men. It doesn't tell us how great we are. It doesn't tell us that we're important. It doesn't tell us that we're needed. It tells us, if anything, it tells us that we're not needed. It tells us that we're a liability. It tells us that we're worthless every day that we breathe, mostly. And I cannot stand it when you have other men talking about you have to change your mindset. You have to focus on the grind. You have to focus on getting all these expensive cars. You have to work 3 jobs so you can have more value as a man, bro. How worthless is your thinking if you think like that as a man? And I can tell you right now, it's all of these stupid little alpha males that think like this. It's all of these stupid little performative men that have this type of shallow thinking. And if you have to be in a room with another man that is like that, for me, especially as a man, I cannot stand being around another guy that values those type of things, because it shows me how little he thinks of himself. It shows me how much low self-esteem he has on the inside of. Because if he actually was a person that had real character, if he had actual values, morals, integrity, he wouldn't give a damn about any of that stuff. He would say, I don't care what other people think of me. I'm going to live my life how I want to live it. I don't care how many times people try to persecute me. Screw people's opinions. Like, I'm done with this goddamn society. That's what they should be saying if they're a real man of character. But no, instead we have them talking about you need to look into impressing women more. You need to look into making more money so you can stand out and look more important. It's sad, man. And the state of men is only getting worse. What do you see going on right now? You see all of these men with all these weird little political ideologies of the far left and far right. And then you have us in the middle. Like, what the hell is going on here? For the men that are actually using their minds, thinking on an individual level, not succumbing to all of the stupidity that's around them, we're thinking, what the heck have we gotten caught up in? Because we have to work among these people. We have to work with these individuals every day at our job. And it gets so annoying and frustrating when you hear people talking about men are the problem, men are the issue, men need to fix their personalities, when they give the very men who have horrible personalities, the men that are not accountable whatsoever, they give these men all of the respect in the world. They give them all the limelight. They give them all of the attention. And where does this leave the everyday average Joe? At the bottom of the barrel, still scraping for any remains of glory that he can just get. And it's really sad. Because when I look at the state of men, I don't see a bunch of men that can overcome issues. I see a bunch of men that are destined to be destroyed. I see a bunch of men that are still too dumb enough to understand this society has it out for you. There is no one on your side. And these men are sitting up here online and in real life arguing with each other. Do you really think we have a chance to make a united front It's never going to happen. If you think men are going to come together and have a brotherhood anytime soon, you need to wake up out of your delusion. You are having a high fever dream, because it's not going to happen. I hate to say it that way, but that's exactly how it is right now, because you don't see men trying to compliment each other. You don't see men trying to help each other. You see men giving other men crap, talking about you need to compete. You need to compete. This is the essence of what it means to be a real man. And these idiots do not make things better. They make things worse. And you wonder why a lot of these women talk about how just shallow and gullible these men are. How easy it is to break their ego. You have women making courses online on how to break down the male ego. And they're teaching other chicks how to do this, and when you think about it, it's not really that hard to do, because all they need to do is just shame a man for the lack of experience he has intimate wise with women, for the lack of money that he has, for the lack of abundance he has in his life, for when it comes to being able to get to know other people in other friend groups and have an actual thriving social dynamic going on. So I cannot sit here and just try to say, oh, men are going to get better. Just give it time. We just need to come together and work it all out. It's not going to happen. It just can't, because you have too many men stuck in their ways. They're too arrogant. They think they're too good to be told anything that's true. You can't correct them, because the moment you tell them, look, dude, you keep going after the validation of these women. You keep trying to make your family proud. You keep trying to get this job. You are draining your life force. You are destroying yourself. What will you have most of these guys tell you out here that are these everyday normal idiot guys? They'll tell you, oh, man, this is all in your mind, man. You're just too negative. You have to get with the program, dude. You got to learn how to be more open. Just be good to people. You'll be reciprocated with the good energy you give out. Total stupid, feminine, pathetic behavior from these men. And you wonder why men will never get anywhere because of this mindset. They just can't. They're too incoherent. It's like when you're talking to, just in general, when you're talking to the everyday normal man outside of these spaces, like my community that we're watching these type of videos in, right? When you talk to men outside of this community, they aren't thinking on the level of, how am I actually going to get my power back? How am I actually going to protect my voice from other people telling me that I shouldn't think a certain way? They don't think like this, because they're too busy living a mundane life, chasing after affection. They're still trying to keep up with some old masculine frame of what it means to be a man. Because if that's the case, then you should just go out into the wild forest and just start hunting and living like you're still in the Neanderthal times. If you want to be just known as a real man, then go do that then. But as for us that have evolved naturally as men, we don't want to do any of that stuff anymore. We understand that there is no reward in doing that. And even if it comes down to us having to do that, if something catastrophic happens in the world, we understand that we'll be ready to do that by our own metric. We won't be able to help other people because we already know we have to only rely on ourselves. And many men out here, you cannot rely on them for a freaking thing. They will leave you in a heartbeat once the first woman gives them attention. They are back in the game. They're back in the matrix. They're back trying to satisfy the woman. They're back trying to put her on this high pedestal. They're back trying to go after the highest job ever so they can gain the respect of their comrades or whatever. They're back being a jester. They're back to being a total social conditioned drone. So I really don't have any hope that men will come together. I just don't. Because with all the stuff that I see of men doing online, I just have no hope left that men will actually get it together. For the majority of men, I should say, they aren't going to understand this type of message because they're too dumbed down to even understand the first rhetoric of what I'm saying, that they need to get control of their own mind. They need to stop wanting attention. They need to stop feeling bad for having emotions as a man and actually voicing how they truly feel. You have to stop feeling guilty for that. That's one of the first things that these type of men will never understand. And you wonder why men will never have a united front, man. It's not that hard to understand. Because looking at the everyday man's behavior, these guys don't have a backbone whatsoever. They don't have the necessary courage to even get things done to where men can actually be viewed as valuable again, to where men can actually feel like they're respected. There are hardly no men left. There are the men that actually understand the situation for what it is. These are the real men that I'm referring to in this community, right? Such as myself and many of you who watch these videos. We're the only real men left here because we understand being alpha, that's a trap. You should never fall into that. Trying to be a man that's performative and say you love everyone, you care for everyone more than you care about yourself, that's all a trap. Wanting to put on this facade of being a ultra responsible man to the cause of your own demise. We understand that that's set up for us to fail quicker. And we will have no parts of that. If you are a man that has actual substance of character and you don't give a damn what people think about you, you will most certainly agree with this video. You won't want to be controlled by anyone. You will not want to have anyone controlling you. That is the biggest message of this video. So the way people are going to control you is telling you you need to go after women, you need to go after having a bunch of money, you need to go after having the biggest house ever, you need to go after having a big friend group because that makes you look important. You will not give a damn about any of that stuff because you understand all of those people. These are parasites. These are people you don't want to be around anyway because they're going to make your life a living nightmare. They're going to get you in trouble with the law. They're going to make it to where you don't have any self-esteem left if you deal with these parasites that only want you for your money, your attention. They only want you for what you're creating. They don't want you just for existing. So many men are not going to wake up. It's just too late for a lot of guys. Like, the alarm has far been over snooze mode. It's went off for men, and they're never going to wake up. And I can guarantee you, you are going to have a lot of men down the line who will never understand that they need to be their own individual and stop giving a crap about what anyone wants from them. Because sooner or later, they all have to leave this planet. They all have to face the same fate that we're all going to face. So why not do things your way and still go out anyway on your own terms? But you guys take care. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate on in the comment section. I highly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.